Then Michy Batshuayi comes on, and it's the super sub of bloody dreams. Hello there guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea 4, Watford 2 game. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It was all over the place. Sometimes we were great, sometimes we were poor. Then Michy Batshuayi comes on, and it's the super sub of bloody dreams. I don't even know what to say, but I'm going to run you through the game as I usually do. Starting off with the lineup, starting in a 3-4-3 formation. And thankfully, the injury doubts for today, didn't prove true. Or maybe Antonio Conte risked them. I'm not sure. But it was Thibaut Courtois in goal. Antonio Rudiger, David Luiz and Gary Cahill as the 3 centre-backs. Then Cesar Azpilicueta actually started as the right wing-back with Marcos Alonso as the left wing-back. Cesc Fabregas and Bakayoko as the 2 central midfielders. And then the front 3, Eden Hazard, Alvaro Morata and Pedro. Like I said, I'm not sure whether Luiz and Bakayoko were actually just fine to play or if Antonio Conte risked them. But at the end of the day, it worked out. They both played the full game, so it can't have been that bad, I suppose. Watford had a little bit of a better start, and I felt like, here we go again. Being dominated by a team that we should be dominating. But thankfully, we got going at some point. And in the 12th minute, an unbelievable goal by Pedro. From a corner from the right, that should never have been a corner to be fair. Clearly goal kick to Watford from what I saw. But we played the corner short. Then Hazard laid it off to Pedro, who was stood about 5 yards outside the box towards the right hand corner flag. He took it first time and curled it onto the very top of the inside of the left post, from which then it went in. Unbelievable strike. Unbelievable strike. But like I said, lucky to even get the corner and then obviously the goal. In the 16th minute, a massive chance for Cesc Fabregas. When we hit them on the counter after Eden Hazard played it to Morata, who then played it to Cesc Fabregas. It was completely free and Morata actually played a very nice ball to pass it to Cesc Fabregas. Although he got almost intercepted and basically slowed the pass down a lot, which I think played a part in why Fabregas did what he did now. Because he tried to chip it. He tried to chip Hilario Gomez in goal rather than, just placing it into a bottom corner or whatever. And he didn't get enough on the chip and Gomez managed to just about get his fingertips to it and save it. Like I said, I don't really know why he still didn't put it in the bottom corner, even with the pass being slowed down. But, it is what it is. And we actually played well during that period of the game. If not very well at some points. We created a few half chances, nothing major, but we also kept Watford from having any real chances. They only really got kind of dangerous from set pieces, especially Hazard was just an absolute peach to watch during, after the goal for the next 15 minutes, I suppose. The flicks, the turns, the runs. That is exactly what I wanted from him against Crystal Palace. Then after half an hour, Watford got into the game more again. Having a few shots, some on target, but nothing that really troubled Thibaut Courtois for the time being. And, that was basically the way it stayed until the very end of the first half. Because in the 2nd minute of injury time of the first half, we basically bottled it again. A long throw-in into the box. David Luiz actually won the header, but headed it against the back of Bakayoko's head. The ball then fell to Corey, who put it in the net. Decent finish to be fair. You can't really blame anyone for that goal itself. About a minute and a half earlier, Luiz committed a bit of a silly foul just outside the box. We then managed to clear the free kick, but, only for the throw. And I think that, if I got it correctly, that throw then resulted in the goal. So, we should have just defended the whole situation better. It's too easy to say David Luiz is at fault. But obviously, if it doesn't give away the free kick, chances are that they never get their throw in from which they score. So that was 1-0 at half time. And then the second half, we couldn't have started any worse. I mean, it is what you get. That's why everyone says it's important that you don't concede just before half time. Well, that's why when your own team scores just before half time, you say it's massively important. Because Watford came steaming out the blocks. Incredible. They had the massive chance, very early on in the second half, when a chance fell to Richarlison, and he put his effort wide completely on his own from basically this 6-yard box, just inside the 6-yard box, and then just a minute after that, they actually made it 2-1, and I was so upset. I was so annoyed. Ridiculously poor defending, like ridiculously poor. I think it was a goal kick by Thibaut Courtois. Basically, Morata lost the header, then Bakayoko should have controlled it better, but didn't. The ball fell to a Watford player. They basically played it through our defence. Cahill was following the run, which is, fair enough, although not staying in his position, but still, he's, not making a mistake by following that run. David Luiz and Rudiger were almost falling over each other, but Bakayoko didn't track the run of Pereira, and that is, the annoying thing, because, then they played Pereira through in the box, and he just had to finish. He was completely on his own. But if Bakayoko followed the run of Pereira after losing the ball, we wouldn't have conceded that. So that was definitely a mistake by Bakayoko. But overall, just very poor defending by everyone involved, to be honest. And then 4 minutes later, Richarlison had another massive chance. When again, he's completely free, but this time he put his header wide from about 6 yards out again. So, you know, we got very lucky that that Brazilian geezer, who we apparently were interested in signing in the summer, just didn't fancy scoring against us today. And at that point, you could see how much the pressure of throwing the lead away got to the team. We just weren't direct enough. Like, it was all over the place. Pedro was the only one that actually looked like trying to score. Although sometimes he hit it from everywhere. Like, he literally started shooting from 35 yards, which is a bit over the top. Pedro, I know you scored a blind in the first half, but, you know, calm down. Everyone else just tried to pass it instead of actually going for goal. It was very frustrating. And then in the 61st minute, something happened that I didn't expect. Michy Batshuayi came on for Alvaro Morata, who Watford took completely out of the game, to be fair. Morata obviously needs a bit of resting as well. He just returned from that hamstring injury, don't forget that. But the effect Batshuayi had when coming on, I never expected this. For the time being, Watford was still on top, creating a few almost moments and half chances. Our attacking play was literally non-existent. In the 67th minute, Willian came on for Alonso. And I couldn't really make out how that changed the lineup. Azpilicueta moved over to the left wing-back position. And I think Pedro and Willian were kind of swapping who was at, you know, who was the right wing-back. So we stuck to the 3-4-3. But, like, it was kind of swapping between them two. But that also made, you know, made an impact. Because we were just a lot more attacking suddenly. In the 71st minute, Michy Batshuayi made it 2-2. And that was important. Very important, with a quality header after Pedro crossed from the right hand side. He got ahead of the defender, very good goal, headed it down into the bottom left corner. Nothing the keeper could have done about that. His first Premier League goal of the season, and you know, massive, absolutely massive. Then he actually had another big chance to make it 3-2 a lot earlier in the 82nd minute after Cesar Fabregas passed the free kick straight to Michy Batshuayi just outside the box. Batshuayi used his body really well, kept the defender off the ball, turned around, but then sadly put his effort just over the bar. But he was under a lot of pressure, so it's not easy when basically everyone's trying to shove you over to like get a ball where you actually want to put it. In the 86th minute, then Zappacosta came on for Pedro, and Zappacosta's first touch of the ball was basically a great run, followed by a very good cross, and Michy Batshuayi almost like inches away from getting to that and heading that into the goal. Just a minute after that, Cesar Azpilicueta. Cesar Azpilicueta made it 3-2 in the 87th minute. Willian crossed the ball and everyone hating on Willian. You know, he basically crossed, you know, assisted the goal for the winner. Just saying. Anyway, the cross took a minor deflection. Azpi was completely unmarked at the far post and put it in from the 6-yard box. Everyone went ballistic. I went completely ballistic. He was kissing the badge. It was kicking off. It was kicking off all sorts. Conte was diving into the crowd. It was incredible. It was incredible. Then in the 95th minute, to make it even better, Michy Batshuayi scored the 4-2. Silly mistake from the Watford defender, who tried to chip it over Bakayoko, not far from their own box. Bakayoko intercepted it with his head directly to Batshuayi, who went into the box, almost got brought down by the defender, but somehow managed to get through the defender and chip it over the goalkeeper and slotted it in for the 4-2. Very important. And that was obviously then the full-time whistle. Overall, another weird game. Very good parts of the first half. Very bad part in the second half. And who would have thought bringing Batshuayi on for Morata would change the game so much for us. Morata couldn't handle the physicality of the Watford defenders. And Michy Batshuayi came on and made a difference. He pushed defenders around, he was positive, but more importantly, scored 2 goals. I keep saying it. Coming off the bench, Batshuayi is a very good player. Just when he starts games, it doesn't work for whatever reason. I don't know, it doesn't work. And Morata today, he was very frustrating. Like, he tried on the ball, he's always decent. But like, he just goes down way too quickly. I think he still has to get it into his head that it's not La Liga where you get a free kick for every time you just fall over. Like, this is the Premier League, mate. You have to start realising that. You know, you can't just fall over every single time someone touches you. It doesn't work like that. But anyway, hugely important win for us. I kept saying it yesterday in the preview. It is a must-win game. And we won the game. Like, so massive. Especially for the morale in the team after basically throwing another lead away. And then getting into the game from 2-1 down to winning it 4-2 is absolutely massive. We still have to sort out our defensive problems. It's not even an individual player or individual players that cause that bad defence. It's just a collective issue, I feel like. Once Kante's back, that will improve, but we have to figure it out and sort it out until he's back as well. And just a few things, as I know people will criticise Conte for that. Starting Azpilicueta at right wing back. Even when Azpilicueta was a right wing back, he was a lot more threatening going forward, and his crosses were a lot better, and at least he tried crossing the ball in compared to Alonso. Alonso did, well, basically nothing all game, you know. And when he came off and Willian came on, obviously that is a very attacking substitution, but that worked. You know, Willian crossed the ball in for the 3-2, Pedro crossed the ball in for the 2-2. I was very happy with that. Not saying Alonso now shouldn't start games, but you know, he wasn't doing anything going forward. So Azpilicueta, although obviously not being a perfectly suited right wing back, he was decent going forward Very good, defensively, as he usually was when he played, at fullback, whether that's at left back or at right back. Didn't make the mistakes he made when playing at centre back in the last 2 games. I can't argue with it at all. And obviously, at the time, I was like, if Batshuayi doesn't do something special here today, people are going to rip into Conte for taking Murat off. But thankfully, Batshuayi just scored 2 goals and was massively important to us winning that game. But yeah, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Who was your man of the match? Leave it down in the comment section below. What did you like about the game? What do you still think we have to figure out? What did you think of Antonio Conte's substitutions? Because today they worked. So, I just want to know what you think. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter. That is Laos1507 on both of them. Follow me there. Massively appreciate that. Also, don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea by clicking that button over here. We'd massively appreciate that as well. Thank you guys for watching. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Up the Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.